In a world dominated by sea creatures, one shark ruled them all. It was massive, it was merciless, and it probably ruined prehistoric beach vacations. Nope, not a sci-fi movie. We're talking about a real, scientifically confirmed, terrifying underwater monster, the Megalodon. A prehistoric nightmare so big it could swallow your car and not even burp. Today we're answering the jaw-dropping question, what if Megalodon sharks never went extinct? Spoiler alert, you'd probably have a much shorter beach towel and a much larger fear of swimming. By the end of this video, you'll learn why the Megalodon was nature's most epic oops, how it disappeared, and what would happen if it still swam the oceans today. And yes, we promise real science, no sharknadoes. Meet the Megalodon. First up, let's meet the beast. The Megalodon, whose name literally means big tooth, because apparently Nightmare submarine with fins was taken live from about 23 to 3.6 million years ago. It wasn't a myth, a cryptid, or your uncle's exaggerated fishing story. It was real and it was terrifying. This was not your average fish. This was the final boss of the ocean, the kind of creature that made whales change zip codes. The Megalodon wasn't just big, it redefined big. We're talking about a shark so large, its average size was somewhere between 10 to 13 meters. That's longer than a school bus, assuming your school bus didn't have 276 teeth designed to crush bone. Some rare fossil records suggest it could have reached up to 20 meters long. That's not a fish, that's a blue whale's worst Tinder date. And the bite force? Scientists say up to 180,000 newtons. That's enough pressure to crush a small car. Basically, it could bite through your Honda like it was a soft taco. You know you're scary when your lunch breaks the sound barrier. If it had braces, the world's metal supply would run out. The diet plan that destroyed dinner. If you're wondering what kind of meal plan keeps a creature this size alive, here's a clue. It wasn't snacking on plankton. This thing didn't nibble. It demolished. Megalodon ate whales. It ate dolphins. It ate sea turtles. It probably looked at other sharks and said, appetizer. Fossilized whale bones have been found with Megalodon-sized bite marks, including teeth embedded right in the bone. When you're biting so hard your dental work stays behind, you know you're not playing around. One favorite hunting strategy? Aiming straight for the chest cavity of whales. Why waste time chewing when you can go straight for the heart buffet? If prehistoric Earth had Yelp, Megalodon reviews would just say, whale ribs, 10 out of 10. Would bite again. These weren't polite predators. These were underwater wrecking balls with fins. Their version of fine dining was crashing through the buffet and leaving bite marks on the plates. And thanks to modern science and isotopic analysis, we know Megalodon had a wide-ranging diet. It wasn't just a picky predator. It was a floating food truck that served death on demand. It didn't matter if you were fast or camouflaged. If Megalodon was hungry, you were an entree. Where did it live? Everywhere. If Megalodon had a passport, it would be filled. Fossils have been found on every continent except Antarctica. Basically, if there was ocean water and warm temperatures, Megalodon was there lurking, hunting, probably scaring the scales off everything. It was the ultimate tourist showing up uninvited and always hungry. The kind of guest you couldn't kick out because it might eat the couch. It loved shallow, warm coastal waters, perfect for ambushes and sunbathing if, of course, it wasn't a 60-ton meat torpedo. Even baby Megalodons didn't mess around. At birth, they were over 2 meters long. That's not a newborn. That's a rental car with teeth. These pups grew fast and lived long, possibly up to 100 years, which is more than most of us can say about our smartphones. They probably celebrated their 100th birthday by swallowing a dolphin and swimming off into the sunset. There's a reason their fossils show up everywhere. They basically treated the ocean like their personal buffet and cruise ship. If they had a frequent flyer program, it'd be called Mile Deep Club, the sinking of a legend. So what happened? How does the king of the ocean suddenly vanish like your favorite TV show after season 2? Did it retire? Get bored? Go into real estate? Nope. Roughly 3.6 million years ago, Megalodon went extinct. Not because of some Hollywood showdown with a giant octopus, but due to actual, boring Earth problems. Ocean temperatures dropped, sea levels changed, and Megalodon's favorite prey either migrated to colder waters or went extinct themselves. Basically, Megalodon woke up one day and realized its food had left the group chat. And just when things couldn't get worse, along came smaller, faster, colder, water-adapted competitors like the great white shark. Picture showing up to a buffet only to find that all the food's gone and someone else already took your seat. Turns out, even apex predators need a plan B, and Megalodon didn't have one. No Uber Eats, no leftovers, no survival. Nature can be savage. Even the biggest jaws can't bite through climate change. If it never went extinct. Okay, now let's get wild. What if Megalodon had never gone extinct? First of all, you'd probably never go to the beach again. Your swim trunks wouldn't be the only thing you'd lose. Beach resorts would come with shark bunkers, and every snorkeling tour would require military-grade insurance. People would vacation inland. Like, really inland. The closest they'd get to salt water would be a tear in their eye. Shipping routes across the globe? Rerouted. No one's risking a billion-dollar cargo ship to a surprise shark attack. Whale watching? Replaced by hope you don't get eaten tours? And marine life? Forget about it. Whales would either be wiped out or turn into armored versions of themselves, like something out of a sci-fi movie. The food chain would resemble an underwater Hunger Games. Aquariums would become deep-sea fortresses. And scuba diving? Only if you had a death wish, not to mention the memes. Oh, the glorious memes. Somewhere between terrifying and trending, Megalodon would become the internet's favorite sea monster. There'd be documentaries, TikTok sightings, and hashtags like #WordAbar Megalodon, Monday flooding your feed. Shark Week would need a rebrand to Panic Month, and water parks closed indefinitely for obvious reasons. Why it fascinates us. Despite being extinct for millions of years, Megalodon still swims laps in our imagination. Why? Because it embodies everything we fear and love about the ocean. It's vast, mysterious, powerful, and probably trying to eat you. It's the Godzilla of the sea, ancient, misunderstood, and a box office hit waiting to happen. It doesn't just live in our nightmares. It thrives in pop culture, documentaries, and even the occasional low-budget shark movie that somehow gets a sequel. Every new fossil discovery gives us just enough info to be amazed, and just little enough to keep the legends going. It's like nature's version of a celebrity scandal. Juicy, mysterious, and definitely not over. The fewer details we have, the more our brains fill in the gaps, usually with something terrifying that has really big teeth. Plus, Megalodon reminds us that no matter how big or mighty something is, extinction doesn't care. That's both terrifying and humbling, like being ghosted by a planet. It shows us that dominance doesn't guarantee survival, and sometimes the ocean just decides you're done. It's the ultimate reminder that in the grand scheme of Earth's history, we're all just plankton waiting to be gulped. We like to think we're at the top of the food chain, but Megalodon would probably beg to differ right before turning your boat into confetti. It's also a humbling perspective shift. No matter how advanced our tech or how smug our documentaries sound, we'll always be a little bit afraid of the deep. And maybe we should be. So there you have it. The Megalodon was huge, hungry, and honestly horrifying. It ruled the seas for millions of years and then just vanished. Kind of like your New Year's resolution. And no, it's not hiding in the Mariana Trench. It's not lurking under your fishing boat. And it's definitely not your neighbor's big goldfish. It's extinct. Deal with it. But it left behind a legacy bigger than its dorsal fin. A fascination with the unknown, and a reminder that no matter how big or bad you are, Mother Nature always wins. If you enjoyed this dive into prehistoric panic, give us a like, a share, and maybe a Megalodon-sized snack. And remember, the next time you dip your toes in the ocean, relax. It's just seaweed. Probably subscribe or be devoured by curiosity.